Hello guys.
Hi
We're
guys.
coming to you live from a property that we've just sold. This is a display home in Marsden Park. We just wanted to take you through the campaign, what we've seen, and the kinds of the level of inquiries that we had and what we had to go through to actually finally have it sold. So it has officially cooled off and sold. One of the highest prices in Marsden Park, sold for 1.1 million. And just wanted to take you through the campaign as well as what you should be looking out for. So if you are looking at purchasing a display home, what you should be looking out for, the good, the bad and the not so ugly as we've called it. So just to start off with, just in terms of the campaign. So this property was on the market for 352 days, so a long time, and that's quite common for display homes because the way that the purchase is structured, it is considered as a commercial purchase from a lending point of view. We're going to touch on the lending side very soon.
Which we've seen a number of buyers come through the property, like the property, put a deposit on the property, only to see it fall over, basically not getting the finance.
Not being able to get the finance. So we're going to talk you through about the finance side of the purchasing a display home, and the fact that so 352 days on the market. We had more than 30,000 views, obviously, over the 352
it's
days.
Been a big campaign.
Big campaign. 500 plus inquiries. So that's more than one inquiry nearly a day for the duration of the campaign. So lots of activity, lots of interest in the property, but the main limitation has been the finance. And talking about that, tell us a little bit about the finance side of things. So why is it so hard to get a finance for a display home?
So basically with finance, when it comes to a display home, not a lot of the lenders do this as a residential loan. Most are doing it as a commercial loan. Basically you've got limitations in what type of banks you can go to. So a number of the buyers that came through this property, they put an offer on the table, put the deposit as well, but only to see that the banks wouldn't finance the loan. So basically this customer that's bought the property, we've been working on the finance for the last 3 months.
3 months, that's in relation to the post that I had this morning about how as anything that's, if it's easy, it doesn't come easy. So you value that a lot more. So there were a lot of hurdles.
So we had to refinance the loan, rip the equity out, then we had to go to a specialist lender which would finance this loan. So and I
appreciate the persistence of the buyer.
The buyer was very patient for the last 3 months. They had basically given up hope. But we have the never say die attitude. Never. So we got over the line in the end. And also when buying a display home with the lease back period, it also depends how many years are left on the lease back. So not all the lenders are flexible on that as well. Majority only prefer maximum 2 years lease back period on that as well.
So my understanding is that the way that the purchase is from a finance point of view, it's considered a commercial purchase, but for it to be considered as a residential purchase, it has to, like for example, Westpac have a product that allow it to be.
If for example Westpac, if it's less than 2 years, they'll do it as a residential home loan. They won't do it as a commercial home loan. But there's a number of banks out there, even if it's less than 2 years a lease back, they'll still do it as a commercial loan. So we put this deal in a lender where it's done as a residential home loan. What the benefit is for the customer there is basically they're getting a cheaper home loan interest rate. They're getting residential rates instead of getting commercial rates.
And why is it considered commercial? Do you want to touch on the goods of purchasing a display home? What are some of the benefits?
So basically why the banks treat this as a commercial property is because basically no one is physically living inside this property. It's being used for commercial purposes as a display home Monday to Sunday between basically 10 to 5 or 9 to 6 as in office hours. So they don't see this as a residential transaction. That's why not all the lenders are treating it as a residential purchase. The benefits of buying a commercial property is obviously the lease back period, you get above market rental return. So here I think it was around the 1450, 1460 per week rental return, which is very strong.
That's more than double what you would get in the market.
Another benefit is basically the property is not being occupied. So it's only been used as a display home. So the wear and tear on the property is not as much as if someone was basically living here 7 days, 24 hours a day.
And the other thing is that it gets handed back in the condition that it would be. So for example, you would normally see that there's a The garage is converted into glass doors.
Into an office, yep.
Everything gets converted to a normal property, and there's a make good involved with the lease as well. Once it ends, there's a 4-week make good.
Yeah, at the end of
clause.
the lease, so basically they give the vendor 4 weeks where they don't pay the rent and they make due to the property.
Yeah.
And everything is up to scratch.
Everything.
Also, another advantage of buying a display home is the quality of the construction is unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's no compromise
it
on
is
quality
their show pony,
because this is where the potential buyers come through the property to build their dream home.
Yeah.
So everything is top quality.
Top quality, absolutely. Yep. So even like, for example, the pool that you can see behind us,
yep.
That's nearly 70 grand that they've spent.
It's a lap swimming pool,
landscaping.
award-winning swimming pool by Crystal Pools with a spa.
Yeah.
Timber floors, timber tile floors.
Yeah.
So it's got all the bells and whistles.
And in talking about the good, the other thing is that you can plan your move. So basically, a lot of the leases, and the leases are set in advance. There's also increases in rental return that are also set. So whether it's CPI or a fixed term that increases, it's all put into the agreement at the time of doing the deal, that for example, on this date, the rent will increase to X, Y, and Z.
Correct.
So you've got that sort of guaranteed return.
Everything is black and white when you sign the agreement.
From a purchase point of view, and the fact that you can plan ahead. So a lot of the people, they have that sort of flexibility. So if they've purchased it now, it's going to become available, say in 2 to 3 years' time. You can plan ahead to do what you wish with your current property, and you're getting above rental returns as well. So you're saving up and building equity at the same time.
Yep.
You're getting better returns than a normal residential market, and you can plan that move according to the when it becomes vacant.
Just coming back to this one, for example, this is the lease expiring in December, so they're going to make do the property in January. Mm-hmm. So the buyer already knows when he can plan ahead and say, okay, in December, January, the property is going to be handed to me, and he's going to get above market rent for the next 3 to 4 months. Yeah. Which essentially gives him a kickstart in building his equity as well.
That's right. Like we're talking 75,000 a year.
Yes, it's big money. Return. We're talking double.
Yeah, and then it increases on that. The other quality is the streetscape. So when you are purchasing a display home within a display village, all of the properties around you are top notch, and that particular. And when you are determining the value of the property from a resale point of view, that plays a big part. So it's the best house and on the best street. You're getting the best of both worlds.
There's no compromise on the landscaping, the inclusions, the fixtures and fittings.
Everything is top quality, except the furniture. Sorry, the furniture doesn't come in, but you can purchase that. But that
apparently can be negotiated. Even though what I just realised, it's got free floating staircase as well. Yeah. On structural steel. So
if there's any questions while you guys are coming on, feel free to ask them. We're more than happy to say hello to a few people that are coming on. We've got Roops, we've got Rajveer, Ranshul, Ronak, Amrita, Yugen. There are lots of people coming in, so appreciate your time, and feel free to ask any questions that you would have during the live stream. Now, talking about the bad and the not so ugly, so to speak, I didn't want to call it the ugly, but there's the not so ugly. What are some of the negatives? In the sense, I think the finance is definitely one.
It is tough that buyers do underestimate that, and also when you're buying a display home, the builder has the rights to exercise the lease agreement as well. So the vendor has no right on that. So
you've got a fixed term. So say, for example, 2 years, then you've got options to exercise, so 6 months at a time. So at any of those times, it is at the discretion of the builder, not the owner, to be able to exercise those options.
Initially it's normally 2 years with the option to extend. Depends
and it
how
can extend even further.
Depends how old the display village is. So this MOJO Homes, they're building across the road. So the lease was expiring end of the year.
And that's the good thing about this, I guess this particular area is that, so talking about Marsden Park, there is so much development that is going on. And for those of you that you may not be aware, if you've heard of the Sydney Business Park where IKEA and Costco are, this is very close to that particular location. There's billions of dollars that the government's spending in infrastructure, in developing this pocket of, would you say, northwest Sydney, so to speak?
The growth corridor. So we're seeing a lot of investors, first home buyers, even some upgraders. So this is a second home buyer that's bought this property, for example. So you've got properties ranging anywhere from sort of entry level, 650, up until I think the highest sale price is 1.3. I've seen, and I think there's one sale there, one at 1.26, and this is the 1.1.
So this is the third highest sale in the history of the Marsden Park suburb. And the other thing that I wanted to point out is the way that the market has changed recently. So this particular property was under offer for a lower amount. And that deal didn't go through again because of finance. Yep. That didn't go through. It's come back on the market. And it is sold for a higher price, so it's eventually selling for 1.1. And this is, and in the last couple of weeks, we've noticed this with another property that we sold. Initially, it went under contract for a lower price. The deal fell through, and then it came back on the market again, and the subsequent sale was of a higher price than what it was originally. So, good result. The market is definitely picking up. And main reason being the supply. There's not a lot of properties for people to choose from, but that is also changing given that spring. We are at spring.
That's right. The stock level is quite low at the moment. There's a lot of hot buyers out there that want quality properties, and we're seeing the auction clearance rate around the 80% mark for the last couple of weeks, which I think is the highest has been the last 2 years. So it's good signs ahead, and money's back on the table.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, hopefully you found that useful. If there's any other questions, do feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to respond to them after the live stream as well. And do stay tuned for a number of our exciting listings that are coming up. We've got, for example, the one at Box Hill. There's a few properties that are currently under construction. North Kellyville, Box Hill, even in Marsden Park, that we're working with, Bella Vista Waters, Norwest. So we're working on a number of deals off market. And if you're talking about off market, do feel free to reach out and let us know what you're looking for, because we always love to match properties before they hit the market. If we know what you're looking for, we can let you know first and notify you of what is coming up. Thank you so much for your time, and we will see you next time. Say hello to a few people coming on. Hey, Jason, Preet, Ila, Chanel. Hey, Chanel. Lovely to see you guys all, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Thank you.